So today, we're looking at something kind of cool, learning, developer skills, but through video games. Sounds a bit different.
It does, but think about it. The standard way. Endless documentation, maybe getting stuck watching tutorial after tutorial can be, well, pretty dry and demotivating sometimes.
But games, they pull you in, don't they? You've got clear goals. You know instantly if you messed up.
And you feel like you're actually getting somewhere, that sense of progress.
What if we could take that feeling, that engagement, and use it for coding?
As my AI assistant already mentioned, documentation and long tutorials can become boring and lack motivation. Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the fun ways you can learn to code with games like Flexbox Zombies, CSS Battle, Clash of Code, and more. If you're thinking of starting to learn to code or have already started learning things like HTML, CSS, C#, whatever programming language it is, all of these concepts can be applied to any programming language, and this is a great place to start. So stick around to see how you can learn to code through gaming. So the first game we're going to have a look at today is Flexbox Zombies, which focuses on HTML, CSS, and positioning elements in the Flexbox container. There is another game that I played back in the day when I learned this a long time ago now. It's called Flexbox Froggy, and it's the same kind of thing. You have to position the frog on the lily pads. So go check that one out if you haven't already. I'll leave the links to all of these games in the description below. And as we get into this Flexbox Zombies, let's hear what Gemini has to say about it.
What about Flexbox Zombies? The name alone is great.
Huh, yeah. So Flexbox. It's a CSS tool for arranging stuff on a web page, super powerful, but honestly, it can be a bit tricky to wrap your head around at first.
I've heard that. Rows, columns, alignment.
Yeah, all that. Flexbox Zombies makes it, well, memorable. It wraps it all in a story.
A story. With zombies.
You got it. You need to use Flexbox properties to position your crossbow correctly to shoot the oncoming zombies.
No way. So you're not just reading definitions of justified content or whatever?
Nope. You're actively using Justify content to line up your shot. Each level introduces a new concept, building on the last.
Thanks for that introduction, Gemini. So yeah, as you can see, there is a little bit of backstory here. It's not going to be a kind of game like Call of Duty Zombies if you're into that. But if you enjoy games with a storyline, yeah, this is definitely going to be a good one for you. Let me just move myself out of the way here so that you can see better what is going on the screen here. So yeah, let's get into the game and see how we do. So first of all, we'll set in the display flex. See how the crossbow is aiming to the east? That's because of the flex direction setting. Leaving it off is the exact same as setting it to flex direction row. Okay. Next level. But we can aim the crossbow in any direction we want using the flex direction setting. Practice aiming the crossbow to the west by using flex direction row reverse. Nice. Okay, so we're moving on to a justify content now as well, and it's saying flex end to shoot the zombie at the end. There we go. Boom. Same again, we got flex direction or row reverse, and we're going to do justify content flex end. Okay, we're a little bit further in now. I like how it's encouraging you to apply what you've learned so far, and obviously you can use the hint button here as well, but I'd definitely encourage you to try and remember what you've learnt and write it yourself. Okay, we made it to the end of chapter 2. It's actually taken some time and I've actually enjoyed myself there. But there is a lot of chapters here, so I'm going to leave that for you guys. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. And yeah, there's quite a lot to learn here. It's really, really, really good. It really teaches you, like I use Flexbox so much in the work that I do. So definitely, I mean, Flexbox is so flexible, pardon the pun. But yeah, it's a great tool to have in your toolbox when you're using HTML, CSS. But the next one we're going to have a look at is CSS Battle, and I'm much more familiar with this one. Yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll know already that I do daily videos on CSS Battle. You can see currently my daily streak is at 26. And I've been doing these now obviously for the last 26 days and uploading a long form and a shorts kind of like sped up video for you guys so you can see the code and use it as help towards your also doing the daily battles, or just straight up copy it if you want. So the aim of this site is usually you would try and recreate the image or pattern that is given to you with the smallest amount of characters possible. However, I found doing that on some of the previous ones, I was trying to get the highest score possible, you know. I definitely don't think it's the best way to learn, because you can definitely create some bad habits doing that. So the way I've been doing it in my videos is trying to write the code in the cleanest and best possible way, so that hopefully you guys watching learn something from it and ingrain those good habits into your code. I'll also play some of my shorts here, or TikToks as well. So links will be in the description for my TikTok. Go follow me if you don't already, so you can get a bit of an idea of how the game works. Yeah, let's have a go at this one, I think. So if I move myself just out of the way here a little bit, there we go. And this is the kind of screen that you'll get when you load into the game. So you get this is the output from your code, and then this is the target that you have to recreate. And you can obviously have the slide the difference, or you can use this tick checkbox to see how close you are to it as well. So the idea is try and get 100% match. We're not going to try and get the smallest amount of characters possible here. And I'd just like to say, I definitely don't claim to be a CSS expert, but doing these challenge challenges have really helped me to improve my CSS, as I think it was one of the areas that I was lacking, and I've definitely learned some things already from doing these challenges, and I feel like I've improved and ingrained some good habits into my CSS toolbox. So as we do this, let's hear what Gemini has to say about CSS Battle.
Sounds good. CSS Battle. So CSS, that's the stuff that makes websites look good, right? The styling.
Correct. And CSS Battle turns that into like a visual puzzle. They give you a target image.
Like a little picture made of shapes and colors.
And your job is to replicate that picture using HTML and CSS code. But here's the twist. You're competing.
Competing how?
To write the shortest possible code that still perfectly matches the target.
Yeah.
And the most accurate, obviously.
Okay. So you type your code, boom, you see your result right next to the target.
Yeah.
Instant feedback.
Exactly. And that competition element, the leaderboard, it's clever. It pushes you to think, okay, how can I do this more efficiently?
Which is a huge skill for developers, right? Writing clean, efficient code. Not just code that works.
Totally. It really drills down things like CSS selectors, specificity, layout tricks. Great for visual learners, too.
Cool. Okay, so that's CSS Battle.
Yeah, so Gemini pretty much reiterating what I've said there, with the aim usually is to try and get the least amount of characters possible. But yeah, we won't do that today, just to try and show you some of the tips and tricks that I use to create these different images. So the width of this one, we're going to go with 50 pixels roughly. And again, you can see here, yeah, that looks about right. We're going to go with a height of 160. That needs to be a little bit bigger. And you might have noticed already as well, we're using some of the tricks we learnt from Flexbox Zombies here with the body. We're setting that the body to display flex, justify content center, and align item center. Just had to tinker with that a little bit. So now border bottom is 28 pixels and margin top is 12 pixels. And the only issue we have now is the right wing is facing the wrong way. So what we're going to do is we're going to give that class of right and target right here. And all that is going to do is do transform scale X -1. So it just kind of mirror flips it on the X axis. So horizontally rather than vertically. Y for vertical. And I think we should have 100% there. Let's submit and find out what we get. Yes, there we go. 600 score with 100% match. So as you can see, this is quite a fun game to play. It's got that competitive aspect. You can check yourself on the leaderboards against the top scorers. Someone here has got 671. So yeah, it's completely up to you on how you play it, whether you want to play it like myself and write nice clean code that'll ingrain those good habits into your skill set, or whether you're already a CSS expert and you just want to play the game to try and get there on those leaderboards and go with the least amount of characters possible. It's completely up to you. Okay, and last but not least, we have Clash of Code. Now this one is definitely going to be a great one for those of you who might be looking for jobs in the industry in software development, depending on what language you use. This is great for practicing technical style interview questions, whereby you'll be giving a random problem and then you can compete against other people online in like a multiplayer game mode with a time limit to try and complete it before the other players. Before we jump into it, let's see what Gemini has to say about it.
Clash of Code.
Right, Clash of Code. This one's part of a bigger platform, coding game, and it's fast.
Fast how?
Think quick, timed coding challenges. You're thrown into a lobby with other players.
Live.
Yep, live. And you all get the same short problem to solve, usually in like 5 or 10 minutes. Could be in Python, JavaScript, C++A, lots of languages.
Wow. Okay, so that's about coding under pressure.
Exactly. And thinking algorithmically. How can you solve this efficiently and quickly? Plus, you see how other people tackle the same problem, maybe in different languages. It's great exposure.
So you're practicing speed, logic, and seeing different approaches all at once. Sounds intense, but valuable.
It really is. Sharpens those problem-solving skills.
So again, they're pretty much exactly what I said. Gemini and their podcast audio view has pretty much repeated what I've said there. So you can choose the programming language that you want to use. You can see what other players' solutions are with the different programming languages. And as you can see, I'm currently in a lobby waiting to join a Clash of Code game. So I'm really going to have to, it takes me time to read the question. So you're going to have to bear with me on this if it's a difficult one. We'll see. But my programming language of choice for this is probably going to be C#. I could also use JavaScript to try and improve my JavaScript, but the moment the programming language I'm most comfortable with is C#. So I'm going to stick with C# for now. So Alex is a data analyst working on a project to analyze large volumes of text data. The text contains sentences with mixed characters, uppercase, lowercase numbers, and symbols. To make the data easy to process, Alex needs to transform each sentence into a standardized pattern, where uppercase letters are replaced with uppercase A, lowercase letters are replaced with lowercase a, digits are replaced with 9, and then all other characters or symbols are replaced with a hash, except dot, backslash, and space, and the @ symbol. Okay. So there's an example there of the input of hello world. The uppercase gets turned to uppercase A, or lowercase gets turned to lowercase a, and the symbol gets turned to a hash. Okay. Let's see what we can do here then. So we're given the string as st.
1 hour later.
It's going through the test cases very slowly, but they're looking like they're passing. So yeah, it's a fairly simple bit of code. Might be some more elegant ways of doing this. But yeah, basically the code here is just doing a loop through each character of the string, checking each character of the string, whether it's uppercase, lowercase, digit, or one of them. Else, set it to hashtag. You can definitely think about optimizing this code, I think, to be more scalable, or if you want to try and beat the other people in the game, reduce the amount of characters as well. However, it's great practice for whatever programming languages you're learning, and even just software development concepts in general. So let's submit this. Took me a lot longer than some people. This guy did it in 2 minutes with Python. Can we view his code? Wow. Okay, so this guy's definitely played before. Well, I'm not really familiar with Python, but it's almost exactly the same as what we've just done in C#, but obviously he's cut it down to minimal characters there. Okay, so as I previously mentioned as well, Clash of Code is actually part of a much bigger website. So you've got a lot more games you can play. You've got solo games, multiplayer games, Clash of Code, bot programming, coding escape. You've got puzzles, code golf, optimization. So definitely a great website to check out if you haven't already. Again, like I said, I'll leave all of the links in the description to all the different games for you to go check them out. Let me know which ones are your favorites in the comments below. Yeah, try not to think too much about it. Just jump straight into the games, have a go. If you don't get it straight away, don't be demotivated by it. Just keep going, keep having a go, and you'll get it in the end. Like the zombie game was telling you, try and take breaks in between learning, so you let the learning settle in, and just do small little practice every day, whether it's an hour, 10 minutes, whatever you can do. Doing it daily will help that knowledge really sink in. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these before, and then let me know which game was your favorite to play. If there is any other games that I missed here that I don't know about, let me know in the comments below and I can make some further videos on them if you want me to. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And I'll leave you with some final words from our AI assistant.
Okay, so stepping back a bit. CSS Battle for visual CSS mastery and efficiency. Flexbox Zombies for making layout concepts stick through story.
And Clash of Code for speed, algorithms, and coding under pressure across different languages.
It really feels like these cover different but important aspects of development.
They do. And the big takeaway, really, is that learning this stuff doesn't have to be a slog. These games make it fun, they keep you motivated.
Which is like half the battle sometimes, isn't it? Just sticking with it.
Totally. And you're building real skills, getting that instant feedback, and you can often do it in small chunks. Got 15 minutes. Do a CSS battle or a clash.
Yeah, bite-sized learning. So if folks listening are curious, what's the next step?
Just check them out. We'll have links available. Go to the website, CSS Battle, Flexbox Zombies, coding game for Clash of Code.
And don't be intimidated, right?
Absolutely not. Treat it like play. Jump in. Making mistakes, failing a challenge. That's just part of the game, and it's definitely part of learning to code.
Failure is feedback.
Exactly. So maybe a question for everyone listening. Have you ever found that using game-like elements, meaning points or challenges, helps you learn other things outside of coding?
That's a good question. Think about it and maybe take it a step further. These principles we talked about: engagement, quick feedback, clear goals.
Yeah.
How could you maybe apply those ideas to other areas you want to learn about or get better at?
Lots to think about there.
Definitely. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.